Hello there, this is Rex Nebula. Welcome to the channel where we talk about all things VTuber. Today we are going to talk about Miko from Hololive. So something happened to Miko, something big. Miko decided to make a horrible financial decision. She spent 350,000 yen betting on a horse race and Miko won. Congratulations, Miko, you won! Yeah, you won! Congratulations, Miko! Yay! Oh, she's so happy. Congratulations, Miko. So this all started from a live stream where Miko was trying to bet on a horse race. She was trying to bet on the Arimakinen. And no, that's not a fake name for a horse race. That sounds like it's from Uma Musume. The Arimakinen is a real, legitimate horse race that is actually in Uma Musume and real life because it's Uma Musume. Of course, an anime about horse girl idols would be historically accurate. Why would you expect otherwise? Miko initially didn't know how much money she should bet on the horse race. She spent 350 million yen. Oh, sorry, I meant to say 350,000 yen based on a poll she did on Twitter. This was equivalent to roughly $2,400. Miko had never spent that much money in a casino before, not even in the Singapore casino where she spent money together with Suise. It was a work date, right? Miko went to Singapore, but that is a story for another time. So Miko was panicking and she had done some horse betting streams in her past, but the issue was she kept losing. She never won. When Miko was choosing a horse, it came down to two horses. It was either Justin Palace or Stars on Earth. You know the funny thing about this? While there is no Stars on Earth horse girl in Uma Musume, the grandma of Stars on Earth is actually in Uma Musume, which is kind of funny. Just thought you would need to know. So in the end, Miko chose Stars on Earth, and this was the horse she bet on. When she was choosing on how to bet, she almost chose like the dream trifecta. So the way this works is that in the dream trifecta, you would put 3 bets, and if you won 3 bets in a row, you could get a really large win, really large cash prize. Thankfully, Miko has heard before that someone who couldn't predict one bet can't possibly predict 3 bets in a row, so she decided not to do the dream trifecta. She just chose 1 bet. At least that was what I understood from the clip. So what happened was she bet on Stars on Earth and that the horse would win top 3. Now, she wasn't betting alone. Louis, Aqua, and Aki Rosenthal were all betting on horses with her on that stream. Miko didn't expect to win, so when she actually won, she was so shocked she couldn't believe it. Louis Ne had to just come over and tell her that, you won, Miko, you won, you actually won. So Miko won 840,000 yen, which translates to $5,700, roughly. So congratulations, Miko, you won. Elite Miko for the win. She won, and she won it. She won. She just won. Miko would celebrate her win by choosing to dress up as Santa Claus, and there was this live stream where she just decided to buy her Hololive members some gifts since it was Christmas and she would be using the money from the horse races which she won. Initially, one of the first people who went onto the stream was Fubuki, and Fubuki was really surprised that Miko won the race. Fubuki asked for some expensive cat food initially, then she thought about going onto a vacation next year for 350k. Obviously, Miko rejected it because she still wanted to spend money on her other friends, and she was waiting for many other Hololive members to call in as well to ask for gifts on the live stream. But Miko did promise she would keep the remaining money and keep it as a balanced vacation fund for Fubuki. Koyori would also come onto the stream to ask for presents. Koyori was kind of mad at Miko because she had actually bet 540,000 yen on a horse and she actually lost money while Miko made money. So what happened was Koyori asked Miko for an Amazon gift card with 540,000 yen on it. Obviously, she's trying to recoup her losses, which Miko said no to. And when that fell through, Koyori would ask for a Newman Coup 100 instead, and that is a very expensive mic. It costs more than 1.3 million yen, more than Miko's budget of 840,000 yen. So instead, what Koyori asked for was a Gelato Peak lucky bag, which cost 20,000 yen. So what lucky bags are that there are special bags with merchandise in them. Whenever it's the new year in Japan, right, a bunch of stores will just release this new product they call the lucky bag. They stuff all sorts of goodies, all sorts of products into it, and then they sell it to customers, right? A lot of stores in Japan does this. Starbucks does this. Mr. Donut does this. A lot of stores does this, okay? So when Koyori asked for the lucky bag, it was from a fashion brand called Gelato Pete. And Miko said yes to that. Moving on, we had Hachima, who asked for stew, but since Miko couldn't buy soup from Amazon, Hachima for some reason started to ask for 40 meals of survival foods that would last her 25 years, which is obviously silly, but she's Hachima. She's supposed to be silly. Nene would ask for an 80,000 yen table for streaming because it moves automatically. Miko felt that was still expensive. Then we had Matsuri, who had recently moved into a new home, and she asked for a new microwave, and unfortunately it was too expensive, so she asked to get the microwave for 3 people. She asked Miko to spend 3 people's worth of money for the microwave. At the end, I guess we circle back to Nene because she chose something cheap instead. She wanted jelly for her beetles, which are her pets for some reason. Moving on, we had Kanata, who asked for an iPad with 256 gigabytes and a printer. Now, the iPad was too expensive, and Miko would say she doesn't need an iPad when she already had an iPad on her chest, because iPads are flat, and Kanata's chest is also flat. Thank you, Oshio Mama. Then we had Ririka from Regloss, who asked for a pressure cooker. Now, Ririka is one of the newer members from Regloss, which is a sister branch of Cover Corp. It's a sister branch to Hall Life. So Ririka is basically Miko's newest kohai. Miko wanted to be nice to a kohai, so she promised to go eat yakiniku with Ririka, and Miko would also promise to gift Ririka the pressure cooker. So it's a 2 for 1. She's going to give her the yakiniku and the pressure cooker. Miko is obviously very kind that she decided to spend those $5,000 she won on her friends. She's just spreading the happiness all around. Though I would say that Miko is not the only one who won money from the horse races. Pecora also won her bet in the horse races, and she won 1.6 million yen, which is equal to $11,000. That's double of what Miko made. Guys, I can hear the Peko Miko music in the background already. I think it's intensifying. Now, I may have spent a long time on Miko, but obviously who wouldn't want to spend a long time with Miko? But moving on, we're still going to talk about Hall Life, but I have a question before we continue. Has any of you thought of working for Hall Life before? But maybe you couldn't get through the audition. Well, you're in luck, because Cover is currently hiring English and Japanese bilingual speakers as interns for their SNS operational assistants role, basically English news. It's to support the Hall Life official app which is called Holo Plus. Now, Holo Plus is an app that is already available in Japanese. And what Holo Plus is, it's basically an app that has news of what's happening in Hololive. But the current app is in Japanese. So what they're doing is that they want to launch an English app. A Holo Plus app with English translations. That's what they want to launch, right? So what happens now is they want interns who can help deal with the English side of the Holo Plus app, because the app was initially in Japanese. They want the interns to have a grasp of both English and Japanese. So if you want to join Cover Corp, just to experience what it's like in there, you can join. This is a job opportunity. And if you get it, congratulations. Obviously, if you're interested in applying for the job, learning up a bit of Cover Corp's history may help you during the interview, right? You're in luck because Hall Life recently released a behind-the-scenes article on the VR table tennis game, which they made prior to pivoting to the VTubers business. The CTO Fukuda, which is basically the guy who helps run Hall Life with Yago, he contributed a picture of the development of the table tennis game at the time of its founding. He was saying he gave a sense of history or something. So this is a rundown of the failed ping pong game that Hall Life made before they decided to do VTuber stuff. So Hall Life released this article. If you want to know about the various thought process that went into the development of the ping pong game, you can read it. You know what? If you're trying to apply to Hall Life, you don't need this. It's their dark history. This is a failed ping pong game anyway. The article agrees with me as well because they said, in the end, we pivoted to the VTuber business and the VR game itself ended in failure, right? However, VTubing is a mixed martial arts skill. Is it really? I was able to utilize the skills I cultivated through VR game development later on and was able to connect it to today. I think this is the CTO of CoverCorp speaking. So he said, we will continue to develop new technologies and create new experiences for the VTubers in our company and the metaverse. Ping Pong League on Steam is currently not being maintained. Yeah, because it failed. So it may not be possible to play it on the latest models. We move on to other more important things, like Houshoue Marine and her recent accomplishment. So, a while ago, Houshoue Marine reached 3 million subscribers on her singing stream. Congratulations. So, the stream looks a little weird because Marine was using the vertical live stream format, and she did it. She reached the 3 million subscriber milestone, and soon she will take her rightful place as the most subscribed VTuber in Hololive on Gura's throne. Maybe Marine will also help build the forgotten city of Atlantis, which Gura forgot to build. I'm kidding, okay? Jokes aside, I'm happy to see Marine reaching her 3 million. I love how she pretends to be a horny pirate all the time, just so we can just reject her over and over and over again. She makes a ton of beautiful MVs. She's so talented. She's great at drawing. She has a very funny, competitive spirit when it comes to Shigure Ui. You know, she's been making fun of Ui for not making the line stamps, right? You guys remember this, right? Marine releases a lot of beautiful music videos, and the last one was animated in an old anime style. It was the one where she dyed Gura in her colors at the end. And Marine said before that she will never recoup the cost for that MV, and she's fine with it. You can see how passionate she is to just make stuff for us. It's really endearing to see a creator making something for a community without thinking about the money. If you're worried, though, about Sencho's finances, don't worry. She's flush with cash from all the merchandise that Hololive sells for her. Honestly, I just hope Marine continues her activities as a Hololive VTuber even after she marries someone, which is looking more and more impossible by the day. Again, congratulations, Sencho. I hope one day you'll find a husband who loves you for who you are. Next up, we have Raden, who had an interview on the entertainment information magazine, Nikkei Entertainment. It's the February issue. You can see they were saying that Raden was working as a VTuber while taking her dream of becoming a curator a step further. Now, I know the tweet from the magazine says that she's a curator when her backstory is that she's supposed to be into Rakugo, which is supposed to be a traditional Japanese way of storytelling, but it's not a mistranslation. Raden does actually deserve her museum curator title, so let me explain. Initially, when we met Raden for the first time, she was the destroyer of Yago's dreams. She drank alcohol, and she drank that specific brand called Onigoroshi, which Abochi the Rock character, Kukuri, also drank, and Kukuri was the mentor for Bochi as well. So not only was Raden drinking alcohol, she was smoking, she couldn't even sneeze cutely, she had a gambling addiction, she couldn't even sing properly. There was a time when Raden and her manager went to see someone in charge of singing, and then after Raden sang, the singing teacher was basically panicking because of how bad Raden was at just singing, and then all of that changed. Raden, for some reason, became known as the girl who talked about art in her streams. We found out that she was not only a teacher in the previous life, she was also a passionate lover of the arts. Like, she was an actual museum curator who handled artwork. She was complaining about how she didn't want to wear gloves because she was scared of dropping the art because the gloves made her hands slippery, right? Whether or not this is okay to do or not, let's not think about that, right? Because apparently you're not supposed to touch the art without gloves, but Raden can do what she wants. She's already quit her job. Raden has reviewed a lot of artwork in her streams. She taught us about Van Gogh, Expressionism. She taught us how to understand contemporary art, which made her very unique, and none of the Hololive talents are like this. Raden has received a lot of attention from many social media accounts of famous art museums in Japan because she was doing these art explanation streams. I believe the social media account of Hakone Museum actually went to her live streams and gave her money, if I remember correctly. And right now she's known as the girl who explains art in Hololive. She's very interesting. When Regloss debuted, right? Regloss is a sister branch of Hololive, still under Covercop. So they still collab with the other girls. And Regloss is just a branch because they wanted to do things differently, according to Yago. So when Regloss first debuted, I thought Ririka would be the one I liked the most. But after a couple months, it was Raden that really drew me in. It was the problematic one. She was interesting in the strangest of ways. Anyway, I love Raden. Check her out if you're interested. There's also this cosplayer who did a cosplay of Raden, which looks eerily similar to Raden's VTuber model that I saw recently. Just take a look at this. Yeah, it looks like Raden, doesn't it? It looks so real. Can't tell if Raden's model is suitable for cosplay or if the person cosplaying is just that good at their job. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for coming onto the channel and watching the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll join me in the next video. This is Rex Nebula signing out.